Usually, we are in the atrium of the Kraut Education Building, sitting in a circle with the candles, listening upon the sky roof. We're in different times. And here are your four clergy, socially distant, but not distant from you in any way. You're so glad to be with you to begin the Holy Day season. Do we wish it were in person? You bet we do. But such is not possible right now. But I want to invite you to imagine that you were here with us, sitting right here. I want you to feel the warmth of our community through our words, through our music, and then ultimately through the changing of the Torah covers from the everyday covers to the high holiday covers. That really instill in each of us that not only are the Torahs changing, but we're changing. That's what the holy days are about. And I don't know about you, Rabbi, Cantor, Rabbi, if you've changed in the last 6 months, but I know that I sure have. And now is the time to think about it and consider it, to try and understand it, to try and put it in some context or perspective, as hard as it might be. We have 3 weeks from this day to work on it, from Slichot to the end of Yom Kippur. And together, we'll explore all those possibilities. Let's begin by concluding Shabbat and beginning this season with Havdalah.
Lie, 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 la la lie, 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 la la lie, la la lie, 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 la la lie, 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 la la lie, la la lie. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech המבדיל בין קודש לחול, התותנו הוא ימחול, זרענו בכספנו ירבה כחול, והכוכבים בלילה, אליהו הנביא, אליהו התשבי, אליהו, אליהו, אליהו הגלעדי, במהרה בימינו יבוא אלינו, עם משיח בן דוד, עם משיח בן דוד, אליהו הנביא, אליהו התשבי, אליהו, אליהו, אליהו הגלעדי, שבוע טוב, 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 a good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase, a good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase.
Shavua Tov. At this Slichot service, we look to our tradition, we turn our eyes to the sources that have always guided us to help us prepare for this high holiday service. And now we turn to Psalm 121, Esai Enai, I lift my eyes to the mountain, from where will my help come?
Esainai el heharim me'ayin yavu ezri. Esainai el heharim me'ayin yavu ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai Shamayim ba'aretz, Ezri me'im Adonai, Oseh Shamayim ba'aretz.
No ceremony is as powerful and as dear to Jewish consciousness as that of the sounding of the shofar. It produces a state of mind, a strange sense of awe and reverence. Before the first blast is sounded, a hushed expectancy fills the synagogue. At the moment we hear the first piercing note, we are struck with wonderment. The sounding of the shofar is the highest peak in our Rosh Hashanah service. Indeed, it is one of our earliest childhood memories. The notes of the shofar are not beautiful by any musical standard, but somehow we find in the thin, piercing blast of the tikiyah something jolting and eerie. In the wail of the shevarim, there is something ineffably sad, almost pathetic. And in the staccato of the tru'ah, we hear something compelling and moving. I think we are all moved by the antiquity of this ceremony. We feel connected to the shepherds and kings who first heard these same notes in the hills of Judea more than 4,000 years ago. By all of this and more, the shofar touches us in some penetrating way. The shofar not only touches us, it also touches God. The shofar's call reminds God of our ancestors who stood at Mount Sinai to receive the Torah amidst the blasts of the shofar. It jogs God's memory, so to speak, recalling the joyous time when we were closest to God, when we stood at Sinai. As God favored us then with the gift of God's love, the Torah, our shofar, blasts today call out, beg for another sign of God's love. The shofar articulates our prayers without words.
Friends, for safety reasons, of course, We videoed earlier the blast of the shofar, and so we turn to Truah now. Teruah.
השיבנו, השיבנו, אדוני אליך, ונשובה, ונשובה. חדש, חדש, ימינו כקדם. חדש, חדש, ימינו כקדם.
Through the humble penitential prayers of slichot, of forgiveness, we ask for divine guidance so that we might muster the strength to change, so that we might again become the person we once aspired to be. So, whom shall we dread? Only the self we used to be, if we allow that self to prevent our becoming a new self. At midnight, I arise to praise you for your just rules. That psalm